Hello and Grüß Gott. Today I'm going to do a minor transmission servicing on my 2011 Nissan Xterra. It's got about maybe 16,000 miles on it. It's 2 years old. I like to do this every 2 years on my vehicles. So far it's done real well by me. I had a Mercedes that had almost 500,000 miles on it. Worked great. Our old 97 4Runner has a couple 100,000 miles or close to it. Works great. So here's what we're going to do, and here's the things you're going to need. For the Nissan, you can either use Nissan Transmission Fluid, which you can buy from the Nissan dealer, or you can buy Redline D6 Automatic Transmission Fluid. This is what Redline recommends for the Nissan for the 2011 version. You'll need some IPA alcohol, some gloves. I have a box here full of drain plug washers, various kinds, so I can hopefully have exactly the correct replacement. A funnel to put fluid back in. It's been cleaned with IPA. Sockets. Wrenches. I have a torque wrench here for the drain plug. I have it set to 35 Newton meters. The spec is 22 to 29 foot-pounds. I'd prefer to go to the lower spec. Also, I don't have it here right now, but I'm going to use some Loctite on the drain plug. You'll need a drain bucket that's very, very clean, and then a waste container that's suitably notated that it's got used transmission fluid in it, and a measuring cup. And what we're going to do is basically drain out everything that's in the pan, and we're going to put it all in here and catch every stinking bit of it. And once we have it all, we will carefully measure it and put it into this waste bucket and put that exact amount back into the transmission. That way, if you measure it carefully, the same amount goes back in. You don't have to worry about anything. If there's no leaks, everything's cool. You do have to add the fluid very slowly. Now, I'll also mention on 2011, Nissan fixed the problem of the pink milkshake in the transmission. That was when the transmission cooler was built into the radiator, and they were cracking over time because people weren't maintaining their vehicles, and also they just crack over time. Transmission fluid gets coolant in it, and it turns into a pink milkshake and ruins your transmission. Well, on my vehicle, the transmission cooler is external to the radiator. So if you have a 2011 and 2012 and a 2013, it should be like that. The older ones, you might want to consider modifying it to put the transmission cooler external to your radiator, so you avoid pink milkshake. It's $4,500 repair. So here's all my stuff, and I'm going to show you what to do next. Okay, to get the transmission dipstick or level checker loose, you have to actually use a 10mm socket. You want to use a long extension, something like this. And what you basically do is down here, you loosen this bolt, which I've already loosened, and you take it out, and then you can pull the whole dipstick out. And that's where you're going to put the fluid back in after you finish this job. So I almost have it loose here. Here's what the bolt looks like. And the dipstick comes out like this with a bracket built onto it. It's kind of cool. So when I get done filling it up and I've proven the level's good, I'll put a little Loctite on there and just snug it up. I won't tighten it up very tight. So that's that part. Next thing we'll do is get underneath and start letting some fluid out. Okay, this is the drain plug. And what you want to do is you want to use a 19mm socket to take it loose with an extension on it. And then also you're going to need to use a breaker bar to get it loose. So I've already taken it loose and I'm ready to hand turn it. I want to make sure I get my drain bucket right here so I can catch everything. So I'm going to go ahead and take it loose here and let it drain out, and we'll be right back. So here's the drain plug, and to get the copper washer off, you're going to want to use a razor blade, go around it real carefully so you don't scratch it, and then just unscrew it, take it off. We're going to put a new one on. Now at the beginning of the video I said the spec according to the internet is 22 to 29 foot-pounds. But I have written on the plug here 29 Newton meters. So I'm going to use my torque wrench set to 29 Newton meters with some Loctite. That should be plenty tight enough, because if I have Loctite on it, medium strength, and if this is a crush washer, so it's going to crush down, it certainly should make a good seal and shouldn't come loose. So that's the way I'm going to do it. I don't have a Nissan manual on this particular vehicle, so that's how we're going to do it. So I'm going to install this on here, put some Loctite on, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. So I have my 19mm socket here, I have a different extension because I'm using my snap-on torque wrench. So I'm just going to turn it until I reach the torque limit. It's crushing the crush washer right now, so it's going to take a minute. It's kind of a precarious position to be in. So I'm going to torque this on, and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. Here's the transmission fluid I took out. Again, I put the drain plug in at 29 Newton meters, a little bit of Loctite on it. Seemed plenty tight to me. So what I'm going to do now is measure out 500 milliliters at a time from here into my measuring cup, pour it into the waste container, and I'm going to keep a count. I believe it should be about 4.5 quarts, but we're going to find out. So I'm going to do all that measuring out, and then I'll get back with you here in a minute. We measured 3,500 milliliters exactly from the fluid we took out. Now, I did drain it cold. Most people would probably drain it hot to try to get any residue out. Well, since I'm going to be doing this every 2 years, I don't really have to worry about residue because most everything is going to be inside the transmission fluid. It's going to be mixed in, so when it comes out, you're going to get rid of most of any debris. I did notice the fluid, even at just a low mileage, was already getting kind of darkish. It wasn't red anymore, so that's good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean everything up really, really well, funnels and everything, with alcohol and wipes. So it's really clean. You don't want to get any debris in your transmission. And then I'm going to start measuring 3,500 into the transmission. I'll put it through the filler. So I'll do that here in a second and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm ready to add my 3,500 milliliters of fluid back into my transmission. I sort of rigged up a solution here where this red funnel down here fits right into the filler hole pretty well, but it's a little short for me. I don't want to pour the stuff and make a spillage because you have to keep an exact count. So I'm going to use this transmission funnel, which the neck of won't fit quite into the filler hole. So this is kind of a little temporary solution. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour 500 milliliters at a time, just really, really slowly, and make sure I don't spill any fluid. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put 3,500 in. I'm going to reinstall the dipstick, tighten down the screw on it, take it for a drive, make sure it doesn't leak. Actually, I won't tighten down the screw until I take it for a drive and then bring it back home and check it to make sure it's everything's fine. So again, add the fluid real slow because it tends to creep up and overflow if you're not careful. And that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching. Good luck, viel Glück, und tschüss.